Howdy guys, I'm hoping you can see the mountain today. Just dropped Colin off. You see it straight ahead? That's Mount Rainier. And on a clear day, awesome. Yeah, for some reason, the way we are on the ground right now, the farther back we are, you can get a really good shot, like from Rochester. Coming back through Rochester, like through the town, on the outside of the town, coming this way. Man, you get a beautiful shot of almost the whole mountain. Now you can see just like the very little tip top of it. Like we go down really quickly and kind of tuck in behind that little mountain ridge. Right in front of us there. Man, looking at all the stuff that's going on right now, like worldwide kind of. We're in a weird part of our history. And I'm hoping things, I hope all these weird ass things had to happen for a good reason. I'm really hoping that the next generations of people coming up are going to be the ones to take care of squaring things away. You know, things have gone on for a certain way for a long time, and a lot of people are used to it being that way. I keep hearing that, you know, it's like people are not wanting us to evolve. They don't want us to change. They want things the way they were. Well, yeah, I would like to have things the way they were too, to where, like, when I got out of high school, I could go work for Winn-Dixie, which was a local supermarket. And, if I wanted to make a career out of working at my local neighborhood grocery store, I could actually be a manager in a few years and could wind up running my own store. But if I just wanted to be a regular old meat guy or whatever, maybe not a stalker, yeah. I don't know that on a stalker's wage you could do it, but a man can have a family coming out of high school. You know, you can have a wife, and she can stay home and take care of your child. You didn't need a bunch of insurance. You didn't need a bunch of all that shit. I'm not saying that, you know, medical prices have always been a challenge, but back then they didn't try to stick it to you for $50 an aspirin and stuff like they do now. And, yeah, I would like it to go back to that, where a young person coming out of school can team up with somebody else. Now you have to have two jobs. There's just absolutely no way around it, but that's where the changes come. And now there are a lot of people that are angry that people are wanting a living wage. Here's my opinion on that. There is no job in the world that is not worth at least $15 an hour for somebody to go out and do. You should be getting paid at least that. I had a business. Can't anybody sit here and tell me that it can't be done and it'll make us broke. No, bitch, it won't make you fucking broke. You take and you give back as you get in. So I paid my employees triple, sometimes more than triple. I have a nephew that made $600 in one day for pouring paint in a bucket for me. Most guys pay their rig men back then $50 a day. $75 if you had a great rig guy. And if he's running more than one, which my nephew did sometimes he didn't. That day he did, because we did a lot of work that day. But here's what I'm saying. I didn't have to pay him $600 for that day. I wound up making 7,000 or 8,000 that day. This is in the turn of the new century, 2000. I didn't have to pay him that. I paid him that because I was making it. That's what you do. You give back. They set all these loopholes up for these guys. Ronald Reagan did it back in the day, and I like Ronald Reagan. I think he was a good American. I think he probably loved the country. I don't know about any dirty shit or whatever they do or whatever all that is about, but he seemed like an honest guy, and he seemed like he really wanted to help. Well, he just turned loose all these companies, made loopholes, so what they were supposed to do was take their money and put it back into their business and build the backbone of America. What they did was they learned how to take and skirt the money and then get out of paying their taxes altogether. Now that's why none of them are paying taxes. That's why it's got to change. But it seems like people out here that it would benefit are rallying all against it because one side or the other is saying it. Man, don't worry about what side is saying something. Pick somebody that you like what you hear them saying and what makes sense to you and go with that. All this bullying shit that's now, bullying has always been. I hate bullies. I hate it. Anybody who follows me on Facebook knows I preach against bullies. I hate them. Don't like nothing about them. Especially somebody that's in power and they use their power to bully people. That's like one of the worst things you can do to me on the planet. So now all these people are speaking out against it, and they're being victimized. It's funny how we villainize the victims nowadays. I don't get that, but I do get it. I mean, I understand the mentality. I understand the bully mentality. They come out and pick on you, and then they give you shit for speaking out about it. Oh, shut up, pussy. So I'm not saying raise your kids to be pussies. Raise your kids to know how to protect themselves. But you know what? If you raise your kids with some self-worth, then anything some dumbass bully is going to say to them ain't going to make shit to them anyway. I'm so proud of our son. Somebody will say something mean to Colin, and he'll say, oh, well, you're nice. What do you do with that? He doesn't give 2 squirts of piss what somebody else thinks about him. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't want to put on a good image and, be a good person and other people like him. I'm not saying that. But if somebody does not like him, he doesn't give a squirt of piss. He doesn't care. Like him, don't like him, he doesn't care. He's got his friends. He's going to go to work. He's going to enjoy his day. He's going to have, holy shit, if I could have the outlook that he's got, I'll tell you what, everybody pats me on the back for coming into Colin's life and blah, 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 helping to raise him and do right and all this and that. That boy has taught me more. He already knew before he ever met me. It wasn't my raising to help put Colin where he is. Colin's his own damn man. If anybody had anything to do with it, it was his mom and his dad before, or whoever. I don't know where his intestinal fortitude comes from, but that kid has taught me more in the 8 years I've known him than I've learned in my whole life. He doesn't care. You can't bully him. And that's where you got to get in your own skin, in your own life. Don't let people tell you that you can't do a certain job, or you can't live a certain way, or you can't do something. Never forget that, you can believe whatever you want. Maybe you're born and you die and the worms eat into your brain. If that's what you believe, hey, rock and roll with that belief. Whatever you want. Me personally, I believe that our being, soul, spirit, whatever label, since humans got to label every damn thing, my essence has been, I don't know how long my essence has been around, but I'm pretty sure it's not just in this meat sack. I think I was here before. Old religious texts talk about we were here before, and then we were born into this world. Bible even talks about how God knew you before you were born. So if you go by any of that, which that's not what I'm basing my beliefs on, But if you do go by any of those things, then we were here before. We were already here. You are a interstellar extraterrestrial being that's, bam, plopped into a meat sack here for whatever reason. I don't know if this is boot camp for us. I don't know what the deal is with it. I don't believe things work like people think. Some people think they do. Where if there is an intelligent something out there that it stirs all in your life and gets all in your shit. I don't know about all that. As far as all that goes, I don't know what's true and what's not true. So I don't believe or disbelieve any of it. Muslim, Hindu, none of it, or any of it. It could all be plausible, all be true. It could all be 100% bullshit. I don't know. All I know is what I believe. And if we were here before and you were put here, I don't know that we asked to come here. I don't know if we didn't ask to come here. I don't know if we have any control over where we show up. But all I know is my mom spit me out of her gash, and bam. Geographically, I was born in the south of the United States, in Florida. So all of a sudden, boom, I'm born. They stamp a number on my forehead. They give me a fucking name. And all of a sudden, bam, I'm an American. Okay? If I'd have been born twisted around on the other side of Earth, I'd have been whatever, Australian. How are you going to put a border on somebody and tell them where they can and can't go? What do you mean I'm an American? I didn't ask to be an American. How do I know I want to be an American? And people say, oh, well, you know, you can relocate. Yeah, go try to relocate. And tell me how that goes for you. If you're not a person with means, you're not relocating anywhere. There's nowhere that I have you. You can't just up and go to somewhere else that better suits you. Some people can. The majority can't. So all of a sudden you're here. Why can't you go to the other side of the world? My God, you were born here. You should be able to go get yourself a little plot somewhere big enough to raise your family on. However you want to do it. If you want to go work for IBM and raise your family on your little piece of land, then work for IBM. If you're going to be a farmer, then you should be able to go have you enough room where you can grow your own stuff and make a living for yourself. Who is it that makes all these rules? Where do all these rules come from? Who's the guy that got your piece of land to start with that you just bought or that you were trying to own? Maybe you don't even own land. Maybe you're just renting. That's a whole different thing. But why do I have to go out and buy a piece of land that should have been mine anyway? If we're on a friggin' island somewhere and crashed and there's 10 of us, you all get your own little piece of ground somewhere. And the morning that I get up and some guy has went around and staked out all the cool places for himself and is going to try to charge me for it, he goes in the pot that night. And we all eat very well. And then the next day, we all go divide up all that wonderful land that he wanted to hoard for fucking self for being selfish. That's how the world is supposed to be set up and run. They've sold us this stuff, folks. It's a brainwashing. All of it. Every single bit of it. So, we're now pulling into my little town. So, figured I would hit you guys with just a little something on the way home today. Go home, see how my girl's doing. And hang out tonight and put my feet up. Nice talking to you guys. Have a good one.